Hey, what's up, y'all? We back with another episode of Define Your Legacy. And today I got my cousin with me. You know what I'm saying? What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? I'm glad to be on here.
I already know, man. Blood. I already know, bro. Good to see you as always, man. Definitely looking forward to this conversation. We
Yeah.
text damn near every day, but this one is going to be saved in the history forever.
And let me say something too. It's funny too, because like when I see your text, bro, you asked me what I was doing tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I had a feeling. Cause like obviously all the episodes you had, there was a time that I thought I was like, when you gonna ask me?
Of
So I
course.
knew at some point, I was gonna be on here. So like I feel like when you asked me what I was doing tonight, I already knew what you was gonna ask.
I already know, man. I mean, and this one, like I said, to me is deeper than just blood, than just family. I think it was only right to have you on. Like obviously, I had Mom Duke Giant on for the first episode, but now,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, it's your turn. So before, I don't think I said your name. So just if you could just say your name, introduce yourself, and everything like that, then we jump right in.
Thanks. All right, everybody. So Jahlil, 24 years old, Atlanta, Georgia, right now. As you see, like you said, cousins. So I'm also from Hartford too. Um, I'm I'm from Hartford, but I'm raised down here. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? 24 years old, like I just said. So I've been here for 20 years. I moved from Hartford at 4 years old. So um, that's a little bit about me.
and kind of now how crazy Atlanta been. How's life in Atlanta been? I'll say.
Yeah, man, we maintain. Obviously, everybody knows what's going on in the world right now with this COVID. Um, but man, you come to Atlanta, everything is definitely wide open. People are still enjoying themselves, having fun. Nobody really scared of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too many opportunities out here, and people are definitely seizing the moment on anything that they can. So it's like this is going to be a top city, if not the top city.
Oh yeah,
Obviously, everybody knows the LA's, Miami, or even Houston and Dallas. Like people love going places like that. But promise you, because of everything that's going on in terms of new buildings, new apartments, all that type of stuff, Atlanta is literally about to be one of the premier cities in the world for sure.
oh yeah. I mean, and that's why too. Like another city is New York, and I was gonna ask you to kind of compare, or just the idea of like maybe not necessarily choose one. When you hear people talk about all right, Atlanta, New York, you said L.A., Houston, Dallas, Miami, whatever. You have a favorite city?
I mean, all right. So based off the cities I've been to, um, I would exclude Atlanta because I live here. Right. So based on the cities I've been to, not too much, right? Dallas, Houston, LA. I say out of those three, LA for sure. I've been there twice. It's definitely a place that I got to keep on going. I want to live there because I see that specifically as a vacation spot. You trying to get away for about 4 days? I'm gonna go to LA. Everybody knows the weather. If you haven't been there, weather is great, right? From sun up to sundown, the weather is definitely great. So yeah, man, LA definitely top for sure.
So what would you say though separates a city from like somewhere you would visit for vacation, or a city that you would actually like to see yourself living there?
Living.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, obviously, a lot of people that view this, don't really know me. So what I say is I'm more introverted and extroverted, right? I love the city, but at the same time, when you hear somebody say I love the city, you think they want to be out all the time. When really me, I'm not really a go out person, right? So I feel like places like Miami, if I'm trying to pop out, that's a place I'll go visit instead of live there because everybody knows from Miami for what it's known for in terms of just having a good time. South Beach, all that. Same thing for LA. I feel like, people know the weather out there, how big it is, one, and all the vast things that you can do in LA. I feel like that's a place I'm just go. Then the prices is crazy.
Hmm.
So I feel like, yo, you're gonna have to really you can have it. But at the same time, I just look at LA as like somewhere I'm just gonna visit for a couple of days, enjoy it, come back to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, the thing is about Atlanta too, it has like pretty much everything, right? In terms of good food,
Yeah,
good weather. It's relatively, I feel like, cheap in comparison to, other cities.
yeah,
But could you see yourself living like, not in Atlanta for the rest of your life?
yeah. I definitely can. Like a couple of cities I thought of was Dallas, um, or Houston, Charlotte.
Hmm.
this might surprise a lot of people, but Boston.
Yeah.
And for me, it could be premature me saying this. I only kind of base it off of the time that I went to Boston for a Celtics game. For them couple of hours, I definitely enjoyed myself. And then for those, again, a lot of people don't know me on this here. I love basketball, right? I love the Celtics. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, cool. In terms of cities I would move to, right, I'm not going to know anybody. I'm not going to know what to do. I'm not going to know where to go. What is something that I know I can do if I'm there? I'm in Boston. I can go to Celtics games anytime there's a game. Same thing for Houston, Rockets game, right? Dallas Mavericks game. And then right now, let's say I move to Charlotte in a couple of years. Got LaMelo Ball. Like, I understand there's things, even football too, right? So that's kind of how I would base. If I was to move, what is something that I know that I can do if I was to move?
Yeah. But so, I mean, with you being 24, talk to me about you being willing and open to travel around at such a young age.
It's fun. It's fun. Like, one thing that you say to yourself, like, I remember every other place I've went to, Dallas, Houston, Boston, LA. I don't even know how many times a day I said, I'm like, damn, I'm really in LA right now. Or damn, I'm really in Houston. Damn, I'm really in Boston, because what you're doing is you're so used to Atlanta. You're so used to the place in which you live in. You see the same place every day. If you're in the city, if you're at home, whatever it is, like, everywhere to go. You just know your runarounds. When you're in a different city, it's like you're experiencing different people. You're seeing different landmarks. You're seeing a whole bunch of stuff that you're not used to. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. Like, it's people got to travel, whether it's in the U.S. or outside the U.S.
I mean, my thing is too, it's just so important to live life to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know sometimes, with talking about financial literacy, sometimes people tend to oversave, if that makes sense, right? But at some point, I think it's okay to reward yourself. So is there like a breaking point for you that says, all right, you know what? I can reward myself by going out or traveling. Is there like a breaking point for that?
I mean, all right, so I'll touch on in terms of what you said, rewarding yourself. It depends. I'd say it depends on how you're feeling. So there can be times where, like, whatever's going on in your city, whatever's going on in your home, if you feel like you need to get away. And wherever it is, it can be somewhere fairly close that you can drive to, or it can be somewhere that you got to get on the plane for, right? But in terms of rewarding yourself, I think it's very important to do so, as long as you're working there. If you ain't working, like, what you rewarding yourself for? You ain't doing nothing, right? But if you know what I'm saying, you putting some work in here and you're getting the funds to actually do these things, reward yourself from here and there. I'm not sure. I can't really put a number on how many times a person should travel throughout the year. But if you got it, do it all the time. Especially if you're self-employed, you got your own business, right? You're just a serial entrepreneur. You got one business, and one good stream of income coming in. I say, man, travel as much as you can. So, like you said, man, we all young. Reward yourself for those type of abilities, because look, the world is a beautiful place, but you're not gonna know that until you get to different places that you've never been.
That's real. And even in terms of, you said the world, right? So talking about overseas and really getting a chance to experience different types of cultures, different types of, food even. So like, whenever you're thinking, I guess, of a place to travel, right? Is it for like an event, or is it, do you ever just say like, all right, you know what? I feel like going this place. Let's go here.
So how I answer that is like, I say, again, it depends on how you feel, and also what time of year is it, right? Because it can be NBA Finals year, which is about to come up pretty soon. It can be, college football bowl games, right? It could be Summer Olympics that's going to go in Tokyo, right? So imagine you've never been to Tokyo, you're a sports fan, or you just, want to be a spectator and say, I'm about to go to Tokyo to experience Tokyo, but also watch the Olympics, right? So in terms of, you deciding about where you're going to go, for me personally, I'd say it just depends on how you're feeling. If you just want to try a different culture, you're gonna look up different places like that. Like I got a whole bunch of places in my mind I want to go to. You got South Africa, Dubai, Italy, Spain. You know what I'm saying? Like places like that. It's all in your head, man. So it's just really a matter of when you actually go to experience it.
Yeah, and I think too, just kind of taking that jump and not hesitating to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
it's okay to, as you mentioned before, go on vacation and travel and see the world and all these different places because I mean, even though the world isn't going anywhere, you still to make sure that you get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Because you know, I hate to say it, but no one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But you got to make sure you kind
Facts.
of live every day to the fullest. And even though people say that, you know, it is a real thing. Um, but you know, so living in Atlanta, you know, I've been there a good amount of times. Has there ever been any pressure for you or anyone to kind of live a certain lifestyle when it just comes to, you know, being
Man,
wearing
yeah.
flashy stuff and designer brands and all that?
You talking about Atlanta, man. It's here. It's all that. Right. I got season tickets to the Atlanta Hawks. So I'm at the games, pretty frequently during the season. And you see everybody. And obviously you see, people in better situations than you. And you're like, damn. So it can definitely put pressure on you, especially when you're young, because, there's a pro and a con to saying you got time. Because in reality, you got time, right? You're young. You know what I'm saying? Don't pressure yourself right now to get it done, but at the same time, you really don't got time, right? So I would say for people, like, they got to stay even keeled, right? Comparison is a thief of joy. So you start looking at everybody in Atlanta, they got this designer on, that designer on, they got this car, that car, they going here, they going there, they eating here, eating there. It's like, you don't want to say, like, it's very easy to say, oh, I want to do that. And very, very well, you can say, I want to do that. But don't say, I want to do that because you've seen somebody else do that. Say you want to do that based off of you genuinely wanting to do that because this is something that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, living in Atlanta, bro, it could be a lot of pressure for certain individuals. I really feel like it depends on the mindset that person has. They're a person that says, yeah, I got to get that. Based on you seeing on somebody else, that's going to take the joy away because you have to understand, well, they did something to get whatever it is you want. Are you willing to put in the same type of work, whatever they do, like what you want to do to get what they got?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it can be some pressure. So it really depends on the temperament and the mindset that somebody else got that can possibly put pressure on you.
Yeah. I mean, too, just the idea. That sounds like staying in your financial lane, and
Yeah, exactly.
apparently, that's a lot easier said than done for most people.
Yeah.
But to me, I mean, I think we talk about living below your means, staying in your financial lane. There's nothing wrong with wanting nice stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you just gotta make sure, you feel me, that you can afford it. You gotta make sure
Yeah.
that it's not, so far out of your budget that now that one shirt or that one pair of sneakers is, keeping you from paying your rent or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because we could talk about, like, this to go on a whole different topic, but the financial literacy part, right? People have an idea of how much these things cost, right? So how I'm gonna operate is by percentages. All right, cool. These shoes cost $855. How much money do you have to your name? Right? $8,000. If we talking about 10% of that, that's a pair of shoes. So look, let's say you got 8 bands in your account and you want to go into a Dolce & Gabbana to go buy you some $900 pair of shoes, you just spent over 10% of your name, the money that you have to your name right now.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, like you said, you can have nice clothes, you can have nice shoes, you can have whatever. Like you want to look nice, but at the same time, don't dumb down your bank account just because you see this person wearing that, this person wearing that. It looks nice to be in designer, but you don't need designer like that now. Once you got it like that for real, yeah, go ahead and buy it. Because I actually seen a post on Instagram of Boosie. He said, if you a thousandaire, you do not need to be in a designer store.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a millionaire, yeah, go ahead and get it because it's not really going to affect your pockets like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But when you have only a couple thousand, I'm not even talking about 6 figs. It be people who have a high 5 figs, but at the same time, or a medium 5 figs, or a low 5 figs. But you out here in the designer store, you got one pair of shoes that cost $1,000. That just ate up most percentage of your income. You can put somewhere else, like an investment or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at that.
And my thing is,
financial literacy.
for people in that situation of having X amount of money but spending a certain percent of it on designer brands, my only question is why. And someone might say, well, Theus, I like having nice things. So what do we define as nice things, right? Because whatever brand that you might like to wear, right? If you took off that logo, or if you change the spelling or whatever, is that piece of apparel still viable? And again, listen, I'm not a financial advisor. I always tell people, hey, you buy whatever you want. At the end of the day, I am focused on myself and my family. But just having people, especially young people, right, think about like, yo, like, I get it. I'm not confused. Well, I think what happens is people tend to try to impress others that might be in the same financial situations in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like being in Atlanta, if you go into a club, right, in the VIP section and you surrounded by a bunch of celebrities, all right, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't trying to look crazy. And it's not about the idea of fitting in. There is a presentation aspect to it. You know what I'm saying? But like we got people who, will wear certain things to, I feel like, fit in sometimes when, to me, like I said, it's just not necessary, especially when you haven't reached that level that you want. Not just what society puts on you, but what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that right there is once again another pro and a con, right? Because I follow if no one knows Bob Proctor, you should. So we're talking about a person who is very successful and personal development of others, right? So here's a pro and a con, right? In terms of how you dressing, at the end of the day, people are going to dress in things in which they feel like they look good in. So if you feel like you only look good in these designer clothes, cool, right? If you want to have something else, H&M, Forever 21, cool, right? Whatever you feel like you look good in, that's what you're gonna buy. So here's the thing about in terms of the pro and the con, right? In a way, the pro is this: you feel like you may not have all the money now, but you're buying it anyway. And in a way, it's like what you're doing is you're dressing like it now, because at some point when you got it like that, you're still gonna be dressing like that. So really, it's in a way manifestation. Like, I've been dressing like this, and I seen myself dressing like this before I had it. That way, when I really do have it, it's like my wardrobe ain't changed up. I've been doing this.
I mean, my take on that is that it sounds like you have to uphold and maintain a reputation. It's like, all right, you can't be wearing, a fly brand, and then a week later you wearing some dingy, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, but when that happens, when that's the case, it puts more pressure on yourself to like, all right, exactly. Like I said, if someone is getting to the bag, please disregard this message. All right, if you rocking out there with 7-8 figures, turn up in these stores. Please do that. But I think, like I said, especially with young people, there's such a forced mindset to like, yo, I gotta get this. So I gotta wear that. I gotta have this certain pair of sneakers in order to look cool. I mean, for me, that was kind of like a vibe when I was young, like in high school, like, I'm a teenager. But at some point, what I'm saying, you got to ask yourself, all right, what are we really doing with our money? You know what I'm saying? And what is it? I think what it is too is you got to ask yourself, what is it that you ultimately want in life, right? Whether it's, money, nice clothes, cars, all that. If what it is that you want is to look fly all the time, hey, who am I to tell you no? But I think I just don't want anyone to have that desire of looking fly and then be struggling or whatnot at the crib, or not being able to pay off a certain bill because you felt the need to wear something crazy.
Yeah, And that to me, I listen to pro. That's the con. Because now what you're doing is you lacking knowledge. And I say that because if that's how you want to dress, yeah, you better do something to get you 6 figs, 7 figs. Because you're trying to get it while you don't have it. Versus you actually obtaining some type of knowledge, some type of skill, right? You just started a business that's bringing you in passive income. Now you're talking about you started off with the 5 figs, then they upgraded to 6, then they upgraded to 7. It's like what you're doing is you're building yourself in a lifestyle that you ultimately want to live.
But yeah, man, I just think, you know, it gets unfortunate sometimes where, you know, folks, you know, and not in anyone's pocket, of course, but put a priority on certain things versus things that can ultimately either bring them value or change their life. And I get it too. A large part of financial literacy is education. And if no one has taught you, right, then all right, you know, I'm just gonna go to the store and buy some shirts, buy some pants. But it's like, at what point is there a, you know, is there a switch of, you know, making some changes? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like one is when a person finally gets tired of their own shit. Right. That's one. Two, going back to the conversation about pressure and being in Atlanta, right? You're seeing all these different people rocking this outfit, got this car, got those chains on, right? The girl, she might got this purse, she might got them heels, right? Whatever the case is, you're seeing all these individuals have it. And if you're telling yourself, well, that's the lifestyle that I want to live, right? Don't go immediately say, I'm going to go up in these stores and buy the same thing. Figure out a way that's going to get you the money, that's going to allow you to do the same things other people are doing. That's what it comes down to. Like, don't just say, all right, cool, they're rocking designer, so do I. No, it's more so of you trying to get some knowledge that's going to actually help you understand, I can be doing this. It could be real estate. It can you just be investing in stocks, right? You know, any type of investment. It could be you having your own business, right? So a lot of girls, last text, right? Or if, let's say, you get a whole building, you want to start your own restaurant, right? Whatever the case is, right? If you obtain knowledge that's going to allow you to, at some point, it could, you know, get yourself to 5 figs, 6 figs, 7 figs. Now it's bringing the type of money where you can actually go get those material things without feeling like, damn, my pockets is broke now. Because at first, before all that, what I just said, your pocket's broke. And now you can go in these stores and buy stuff that you really should not be buying. Versus now you obtain the knowledge first, right? Do something that's actually going to reward you that type of income that you want. And at that point, man, go crazy. If you want to go crazy, go crazy.
Because my thing is too, those things aren't going anywhere, right? So to me, I think it's the order of which you spend your money, right? So like you spend money on something that might make you more money, and then you use the profit from that to say, all right, now I can splurge. Now I can, you know, do this or that. But sometimes I think there's a disconnect of, all right, I just stumbled or received a random amount of money. So now let me go blow it. Let me go spend on this or something crazy.
Man, so many people do that. And I bring something up. The lottery, right? Let's say somebody wins the lottery. There's gonna be two different individuals. Let's say individual number one, this person, they win the money from the lottery. Now they start business here, business here, business here, investment here, investment here, investment here. There'll be some individual that says, oh, you won the lottery, so you got lucky, and that's how you got the money, and that's how you got your success, right? And then there's gonna be individual number two, and when they get their lotto money, oh, they going crazy. They spend it on this, spend on that, spend on that, spend on that. Things that's bad debt. So for individual number one who may say, well, you're only there because you won the lotto. Well, yeah, that helped me. But ultimately, I had knowledge to go invest in this thing, invest in this thing, start this business up, start this business up. Now it's not going to be a time where if you win 430 million from the lotto, it's not gonna dwindle down. You finna flip that 430 million to whatever amount because you have the knowledge to go do something else versus this spend your money and trick your money off because you won the lotto. Now you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of, financial literacy, man. It's about knowledge, the information. Do you have the information to make something happen, or do you not?
In fact, that's why I think a huge underrated part of financial literacy is the education aspect. Like it's not even just about the money. I won't say it's not about it at all, because at the end of the day, it's still financial literacy. But like it starts with education. Like not everyone can get a head start on, with the money, right? Not everyone is going to be born into a wealthy family. Not everyone is going to be given 7 figures, by the time they graduate high school, right? But everyone can become informed. Everyone can receive some sort of education. Everyone can watch YouTube videos. Everyone can listen to podcasts. And so when you kind of put it into perspective of like, all right, I don't know how to do something. So now what? I don't know how to invest in the stock market. So now what you gonna do? I don't know how to do this. So what's the next step? Identifying, where you're struggling is one thing. It's easy. But now taking that next step, taking action to really change your situation, that's pretty imperative. And my thing is too, nothing is going to change if you don't change, right? That's like the biggest kind of lesson that I've learned in life. If you stay stagnant, nothing is going to improve at all. So you just got to ask yourself, how bad do you really want it?
Yeah. An important word, I'm going to add it in, right? In terms of everything that you said, like, important words to know is seek. Seek the information. Well, I want to invest in stocks, but I don't know how to. You're going to go sit down on the couch and this, well, I don't know how to do it, so I guess that's that. Or are you going to go seek the information? I want to start a business, but I don't know how to. You're going to go sit down on the couch and play a game? Or are you going to seek the information and also seek the connections too? Because now you're talking about networking. Because not only do you got to seek the information, now you're going to have to pair yourself with other individuals who are either also seeking the same information that you're seeking or already got the information that you're seeking. And now it's time to start putting yourself around those individuals. At that point, man, if you got the mindset to keep on going, on the way is up, man.
Yeah, and that definitely helps too. Surrounding yourself with people that are kind of striving for a similar goal as you. Putting yourself around individuals, because it'll make your life a lot easier. Like, it's just, and it really is as simple as that. But one question, or the final question that I always ask people when they come on the show, is how do you want to be remembered?
That's a good question, man. I'm definitely a person right now at a young age who I have a lot of things that I've thought of doing. I think the most important thing is the impact. What were you able to do for people? Could you make people smile? Did you actually genuinely help people? Were you, man, it's how can I go deeper into that? Like,
I know you would think it's an easy question.
Yeah, like
it definitely it's made people think like, damn, how do I want to be remembered? Because the whole, the title of the show is Define Your Legacy. So obviously, we talk about financial literacy, but to me, the thing that I wanted to focus on as I conclude every episode is like, all right, kind of what's your legacy look like? What is it exactly that you want people to be able to say about you when you leave this earth?
Yeah. Well, to those who know, I just only see my first name. I say my last name. Last name is McLemore. All right. So there are names that you just know of. Serena, LeBron, Drake. Like, we just saying one names. I want the McLemore name to be known. To be known for what?
putting people in opportunities to do the same thing that I did, right? I want to be a entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. Not just one business, right? Multiple businesses. I want to be able to impact certain individuals. And truth being said, I rather, and I don't know how it's gonna come off and sound right. I'd rather my funeral be packed out because I showed this many love to so many people and helped so many people get either in a better situation, right? Get them out of a situation, or my funeral be packed because I want to touch that many people and help that many people. Because I said I'm an introvert, whatever. But at the end of the day, I definitely got a soft spot for people. Like I want to help people. You know what I'm saying? I definitely love that. So I feel like the biggest thing is the impact and the impact of changing the lives of others because somebody's going to change my life.
Someone
I'm gonna know,
had.
I'm gonna know how that's. I'm gonna know how that's gonna feel. Like in terms of like, I want to know how it feels. So as a result, for me to know how it feels for me, I don't know how it's gonna feel for somebody else.
Yeah.
So how many people can you really put in position to get what they want?
Yeah. I mean, you can always, I feel like, help people in different ways too. That's the good thing. I always try to remind folks, like, it doesn't always have to be a money thing.
Exactly.
It can be an education or, so you introducing someone to something and just kind of steering someone's mindset to, in a different direction. With this episode specifically, if someone I'm saying, was waiting for this type of episode, if someone was waiting for that, I guess, sign to kind of get right with their finances, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but that's what I have, bro. One thing I will say too, again, just to wrap up, if you could, just drop your social media so people can follow you and just kind of know where you are.
All right, so it's gonna be ycw.jah. Right now the page is under construction. There's only one photo on there, and it's of Kobe Bryant. That's the one photo. So when you do go there, you're gonna see a picture of Kobe. Because in terms of it being under construction, that's the thing that's gonna mean that means a lot. Because obviously, it was a very tough day. It's crazy because when that day happened, this was the first person I called.
Yeah.
First person I called. You know what I'm saying? So him being on there, it definitely means a lot because if I go to my Instagram page, I still see him. He left a great impact on a lot of individuals, not just on the court, but off the court as well. You know what I'm saying? So he's always there. He definitely always there for us, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you mentioned impact before, and just overall leaving a legacy that people will always remember you for. But yeah, man, I just want to say thank you. It's only a matter of time before I had you on the show.
Yep.
Always good to have family come on. Appreciate you and love you as always, of course.
Me too.
And you already know, man, we definitely send this interview to Nana. Make sure, our grandmother sees this video. I definitely think she'll be proud to kind of hear us talking about stuff like this. So other than that, man, you got anything else? Other than that, I'm good. You straight?
Man, I just say keep doing your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we both young. Obviously you a couple years older than me, but end of the day, man, let's keep on doing your thing, bro, because I already know the type of work that you put in, that you've put in as well.
Mm-hmm.
So keep on doing that because I know what the future holds.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. So with that, Defiant Legacy episode, we gone. Appreciate you, my cousin, for pulling up. All right, y'all. We out.